so important to have a positive relationship with your boss, because your boss is really the one who provides you umbrella coverage in the organization. Because when that umbrella coverage is positive, this is how opportunities are presented, these are how challenges are presented. If it's not positive and even negative, those things don't come my way, because the boss either prevents it from happening or my name doesn't pop up as somebody that they want to have work on that project. So there are a number of reasons why there may be a gap between your boss and a subordinate, and some of those reasons might include whether or not you were hired or inherited, and that's a different type of employment experience that might exist between a subordinate and their boss. It could be something like geography, where you're in one area of the country and your boss is in another area of the country, or it could be working styles, and that's a huge area for people to work to understand, which is that the working styles of one person could be very different than the working styles of another person. And these are all activities and behaviors that exist in most workplaces that can influence the relationship that you have with your boss. I think there's a number of ways that people can have a positive impact on their relationship with their boss. Three of the ones that I would share with you. The first one is that you should know your boss's goals and aspirations. If you have goals and aspirations, so does your boss. And they want to ensure that they can achieve those goals and aspirations, and they can only achieve it if people are working on the same direction with them, right? So making sure that you understand their goals and aspirations are super important. This could be a great conversation that you have with them to say, tell me about yourself, tell me about your working style, but also tell me about your goals and aspirations so I can help you. Another activity might be to ask your boss what I call the $1,000,000 question. And the $1,000,000 question is, what's one or two things you could do differently to be more effective? And the reason I think it's the $1,000,000 question is it's not a lot of things, it's just one or two. It's really about what you can do differently. It's not better or worse, because people sometimes have trouble talking about better or worse because it might infer to the listener that what I'm doing is bad. And what you're saying is you just need to do it a little bit differently. And then who wouldn't want help being more effective? I mean, that's something that everybody would want to hear. So this is a great question to ask on a recurring basis. Not often, maybe 2 or 3 times a year, but asking your boss or telling your boss, what's one or two things they could do differently to be more effective is a great way to help build that relationship. And then lastly, bosses like to know that people have their back, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but I mean when they're not there, if they're not at a meeting, if they're not in a conversation, that if it has something to do with the work that you're doing or something to do with your relationship with your boss, you let them know about it. And it could be a very quick little walk by their office and say, hey, just quickly, I just wanted to let you know something. Or today it might be sending them an email to say, hey, I heard something yesterday I thought would be very important for you to hear. It sounds like a subtle type of activity to have a positive relationship with your boss, yet if 85% of my clients wish their relationship with their boss is better, it's not that subtle. It's a compelling piece of people's relationships in their workplace to ensure that they know and they are doing very specific things to have a positive relationship with their boss.